Deep in the heart of Indiana, where the echoes of America's railroad history still resonate, lies a hidden gem, the Hoosier Valley Railroad Museum. More than just a collection of vintage railcars, this living museum brings history to life on the very rails that shaped the Midwest. But beyond its charming rural setting and weekend train rides, the museum hides some truly fascinating stories. Let's explore the lesser-known facts about this historic site. History and origin. The Hoosier Valley Railroad Museum sits in North Judson, Indiana, once a major railroad crossroads. At its peak, 4 different railroads intersected here, making it a bustling hub for freight and passengers. But what many don't know is that the museum itself was born from a deep desire to preserve a disappearing past. In 1988, a small group of railroad enthusiasts gathered old locomotives, rolling stock, and historical artifacts, laying the foundation for what would become one of Indiana's most immersive railway experiences. The Locomotive Collection. One of the museum's biggest draws is its impressive collection of historic locomotives. Perhaps the most iconic is the Chesapeake & Ohio 2789, a 284 Berkshire steam locomotive built in 1947. This beast of a machine once roared across the Midwest, but after retiring in the 1950s, it was left to rust, until volunteers at Hoosier Valley painstakingly restored it. However, what's even more astonishing is that this locomotive was once displayed in a city park before being carefully transported to the museum. The Railroad Graveyard. Few people realize that Hoosier Valley Railroad Museum has served as a sanctuary for orphaned railcars. Over the years, the museum has taken in neglected locomotives and rolling stock, saving them from being scrapped. Some of these relics date back to the early 20th century, and volunteers work tirelessly to restore them to their former glory. Each railcar has its own tale. Some were used in famous Midwest industries, while others carried passengers during the golden age of rail travel. The Ghost Railway. Did you know that parts of the original rail lines here are believed to be haunted? The museum is located on what was once part of the Erie Lackawanna Railroad, a line that saw its fair share of accidents and tragedies. Local legends claim that late at night, the sound of distant train whistles can be heard even when no trains are running. Some visitors even report an eerie presence while walking near the old track beds. Is it the echo of history, or something else entirely? Behind the scenes, the volunteers working on locomotives, families enjoying a train ride. Unlike many larger railway museums, Hoosier Valley is entirely run by volunteers. Every ticket sold, every locomotive restored, and every train ride operated is thanks to dedicated rail enthusiasts who keep history alive. Whether it's driving trains, refurbishing engines, or giving guided tours, these passionate volunteers are the backbone of the museum. Some even travel from out of state just to be a part of this incredible effort. Riding the rails. Visitors to Hoosier Valley can do more than just look at trains, they can ride them. The museum operates excursion trains along a scenic stretch of track, offering a step back in time to an era when train travel was king. From pumpkin trains in the fall to holiday-themed rides, these experiences attract thousands of visitors each year, making it a true must-visit destination for history buffs and train lovers alike. Rare artifacts and unknown connections. Hidden among the displays are relics that tell the untold stories of American railroads. From a rare collection of telegraph equipment used for train dispatching to conductor uniforms dating back to the early 1900s, the museum holds countless artifacts that provide a glimpse into the past. One particularly intriguing find is an original switch stand from the Monon Railroad, a company vital to Indiana's railway heritage. The future of Hoosier Valley. Despite its success, the Hoosier Valley Railroad Museum isn't just preserving the past, it's building for the future. The museum continues to acquire new rolling stock, expand its track operations, and improve visitor experiences. Plans are underway for larger restoration projects, interactive exhibits, and more educational programs for young railway enthusiasts. The goal? To ensure that the legacy of the railroad lives on for generations to come. Lost rail lines discovered. During routine maintenance and expansion, museum volunteers made an incredible discovery: sections of long-buried rail lines hidden beneath layers of dirt and grass. These tracks once belonged to the Chesapeake and Ohio Railway and had been abandoned for decades. Carefully unearthed and documented, these forgotten rail lines serve as a reminder of how expansive North Judson's railroad network once was. Some sections are even being considered for future restoration. A locomotive with a movie past. One of the locomotives housed at the museum has an unexpected Hollywood connection. The Nickel Plate Road No. 765, a famous Berkshire steam locomotive that has visited Hoosier Valley for special events, has appeared in several films and TV shows. This locomotive was used for authentic period recreations, bringing 20th century railroading to life on the big screen. Though it's not a permanent exhibit, its presence at Hoosier Valley adds a touch of cinematic history to the museum. Secret tunnels and old railroad buildings. Beneath the modern-day museum lies a forgotten part of Indiana's railroad history. Some of the buildings surrounding Hoosier Valley once served as storage depots and maintenance hubs for the railroad companies that operated here. Though most of these structures have vanished, records suggest there may have been underground storage rooms or even tunnels used to transfer goods between lines. Could remnants of these tunnels still exist beneath North Judson? Some researchers think so. The train that never arrived. One of the strangest unsolved mysteries linked to Hoosier Valley's tracks involves a train that never arrived at its destination. In the early 1900s, a freight train carrying valuable cargo, possibly gold or fine goods, was reportedly lost somewhere along the old Erie Lackawanna line. The train was eventually found, but rumors persist that some of its cargo disappeared along the way. Did opportunistic rail workers take advantage of the confusion? Or was it simply an exaggerated story passed down through generations? A railroad's role in Prohibition. Archival photos of Prohibition-era trains, secret compartments in old railcars. During the Prohibition era of the 1920s, railroads played a crucial role in smuggling alcohol across state lines. Some historians believe that North Judson's rail lines were used to discreetly transport illegal liquor shipments. Railcars were modified with hidden compartments, and bootleggers relied on corrupt rail workers to move their goods undetected. Though no concrete evidence has been found, locals whisper about hidden bottles still buried near the old rail yard. The unfinished track extension. One of the more mysterious features of Hoosier Valley's railway property is an unfinished track extension that seems to lead to nowhere. Historical records indicate that this line was intended to connect to another major route, but construction was abruptly halted. Some say it was due to budget constraints, while others believe political conflicts between railroad companies played a role. Today, the rails remain as a curiosity, remnants of a railway expansion that never came to be. The missing locomotive blueprints. Restoring old locomotives is already a challenge, but imagine trying to repair a train when its original blueprints have vanished. That's exactly the situation volunteers faced when working on one of the museum's historic steam engines. Despite searching through archives and reaching out to railroad historians, key design documents were missing. This meant that restoration efforts had to rely on old photographs and trial-and-error engineering, a painstaking process that continues to this day. The Hoosier Valley Railroad Museum isn't just about old trains. It's about preserving the legacy of America's railroads and keeping the spirit of adventure alive for future generations. Whether you're a rail fan or just looking for a unique weekend getaway, this museum offers an unforgettable journey through time. Have you ever visited Hoosier Valley? Let us know your favorite part in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more railway adventures.